Hi homeschoolers, it's me Jazz again from Hidden Library Homeschool, and I'm back with another homeschool video. I'm redoing this one because last week, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I tried to do the video and it was like the fourth one I've done in that day, so I was looking really tired and out of it. So I figured it was a good idea to do this one first thing in the morning when I was actually awake. So the first thing I want to show you in this video, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we've kind of added on to the end of this school year, even though we only have like 3 more weeks left, but also some of the toys that my kids have been into. So they've really been into lately magnetic tile sets. So the first one I have 3 different kinds, is this one right here, and the boxes are a little beat up because my kids did get to them. But this one is from Discovery Kids, and I actually got this at Big Lots. It was only $20. There are 24 pieces in here. And I don't know if it's the set that I got or this product in general, but these, out of all the types that I have, don't seem to have the greatest attraction with the magnets. They don't seem to stick as well, and they are my kids' least favorite. So this is kind of, since there are 3 sets, it seems to be whichever kid draws the short straw is the one that ends up playing with these, but these are not their favorite. So I don't think we're going to buy any more of this. The next one that I have, dropping things. The next one that I have are magnet tiles, and there are 37 in this one, and I think this was around $60, which is way more than I meant to spend. But I bought these when I was buying some furniture for my husband's little man cave, and the furniture was expensive enough. And I was at Target, and I didn't realize how expensive these were because these were on the wrong shelf, and I thought I was spending a lot less than I did. But with a screaming 3-year-old and already buying expensive stuff, I didn't realize until I got home how expensive they were. But my kids had already opened them, so I couldn't really bring them back, and yeah, I didn't. I don't think I'm gonna go and buy these again to add to this set. But my kids do love these. They play with them daily, so it wasn't a complete loss. I just way more than I meant to spend. And then the last set that I have is like the most beat up box because my kids absolutely love this one. These are Magformers, and there are 30 in this one, and I think it was $40 at Walmart, but I've also seen these at Target and of course on Amazon, and my kids love these. They love these because there are on this set at least, each side is a different color. They're you can kind of see through them, and I like that these are a little bit more like Legos in that they sell different sets. We haven't bought any other sets, but at the end of the school year when my kids finish their grades, we will be buying them more of this type of magnetic tiles, and I think if we continue to buy different magnetic tile sets, this is the kind that we're gonna stick with. My kids are always fighting over this one out of all the other ones, so they are definitely their favorite, and it has a big old book that it comes with that shows you different things that you can make, and this one has like cars, and I think there's like a Ferris wheel type of thing, and just different things that you can make if you buy the different sets to them. So we'll be buying more of this kind. So moving on to some of the books that we've added to this school year. We only have 3 weeks. We're going to end on June 2nd, I think it is. I think that's the Friday. That it's like the end of May, beginning of June. So we're going to end in about 3 weeks with our school year. But there were a couple of things that we did add to the last couple of weeks. So of course we added another Horrible Harry book. So this is Horrible Harry and the Kickball Wedding. And then this book I've had for a couple of months, and I wasn't sure where we were going to put this. This is The Ordinary Princess, and, excuse me. This one, I wasn't sure if we were going to put this at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, but we decided to put this at the end of this year. And it's kind of like a not new, but a fairy tale kind of encompassing a lot of different other ones. There are small drawings within it. And that's the Fairy Godmother that comes, and you know how in all the other stories, all the other princess type stories, a Fairy Godmother comes and kind of wishes them different things, and this one says that she wants her to be ordinary. So it kind of goes through the girl's life, but of course, like other fairy tales, she comes and by the end of it meets her prince. I mean, that's pretty predictable in a fairy tale. But I do like the message of it's not just trying to get prince to just come and save her from, you know, like a tower or something like that. And the next one that we have is a book that we're going to do as an audiobook, Matilda. We also have Charlie and Mr. Willy Wonka, and this actually has both of the stories together. This has, where's the beginning of it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and also Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. I haven't read Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, but but we will be finishing up Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as an audiobook, and I figured that if my son wanted to continue on with the story, that we would have this one. Since it was about $7 or so for just Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and $10 for both of the books together, I figured, you know, why not? And if he wants to continue, then we already have it. We had a book earlier this year for Vikings and Leif Erikson, a different, like a landmark book that we had, and it just seemed a little bit too much. So instead I got this book, My Own Biographies, Leif Erikson, and this was something that he was able to read himself. Pretty simple. It says it's about 3rd grade reading level, so it was something that he was able to read himself, and it had pictures enough for him, because he's at an age where he can definitely read, but he still wants to be able to see pictures and kind of get something in his mind of how it would have looked at that time. And I think that's really important with history, to really get in your mind how things looked. So I like that this one wasn't like gruesome. Like, I mean, it's talking about the Vikings, so you can get a book that's pretty gruesome. So I like that it gave the history, but it wasn't kind of just bloody battles and things like that. It didn't show it to that point of view. It just gave an overview and was at his level. I also have Fine Print, and this was a book about Johann Gutenberg, and I wanted a book about Gutenberg, but when I got this, I see that it's at about a 5th grade reading level, which is fine. He can read at a 5th grade level, but that they don't always hold his interest. And the pictures are a little weird. I mean, I get the point of them. It's supposed to look like a print, like how in art class when we used to make stamps and things like that and carve those out, it's supposed to look like that. So I get the point of it, but it does look a little odd. And it was just not something that would hold his interest. So I think we're just going to find something online about Gutenberg and maybe use this in a couple of years, maybe not. It wasn't the most exciting book, so we might not end up using it. And then the last book I have, because you know how I am about history books, always trying to find the right one. We have Lady Bird Histories, British History, and I love this book because the drawings are very, very clear. My husband, my son, is always wondering how things looked, how the dress was, how people were building things, how the houses and things look. So this is very clear without being too graphic, I guess the word is, because some of the books I've seen have been pretty graphic. So I do like this right here. It's showing the different outfits people wore. It does show battles, but it's not like as bloody as some of the other books that I've seen. So we will be using this one, and I like that the writing in itself is simple enough that it's something that he'll be able to read himself as either a preview or a review. And with history, we start out with a focus on British history. Last year we did Galore Park Junior History books 1 and 2. This year we had book 3, and then we're slowly making our way into more of an American history focus. At least from my point of view and how we do things within our homeschool, we start out with the British history because it just seems to me to be kind of a natural progression into American history. And especially next year when we get into like the 1500s and things, we're going to get more of a American history point of view, because that's when we have more settlers and things coming to America, more explorers and settlers and things like that going on. So at least for now, this year we have a British history point of view more, and I like to have kind of both sides because it's let me see if I can find one. Okay, it does talk about the Americas. But it is nice to see both sides and talk about bias within history and point of view. And a lot of times when you have American history books, it's talking about, you know, the great patriots who won their freedom and, you know, win against the big bad British Empire. And then when you read a British book, it's talking more about, you know, those rebels, they couldn't just, you know, give us the money and deal with us. So it's nice to see both sides and really, and to show him that, you know, history, yet these events happened, but people are coming at it from different points of view. People are seeing it in different ways. And you kind of have to take both of their sides into consideration when you're talking about the history, because they're obviously not going to see things the same way. Even though it's the same facts, they're not going to see them in the same way. So it is nice to be able to have that. The only thing I don't like about this book is it doesn't go as far as I would like. It just goes up to the war years, up into the Second World War. I wish it went a little bit further, but it doesn't. So it goes from the Romans to then. So that is some of the things that we've added on to this year, and I would definitely recommend these Magformers. My kids absolutely love them. It is a little bit of an investment, but they are a fun toy. I love toys where my kids can just build things and use their imagination. And it's not a toy where it's like you have to kind of just do it in this one way and there's only a set way of doing things. I like toys where they can, you know, build things, and they're always coming to me, Mom, I built this, I built a rocket ship, I built a house, I built this, you know, all the different things that they can build. And the thing I like about those too is my kids can carry them. They'll carry them from the top and they stick together. The Magformers stick really, really well. So they run around the house holding them and they actually still stick together. So that's nice. But I will have more videos to come. I have, like I said before, a huge box full of things for next year. And I still have a lot of stuff from book hauls that I just haven't videoed. It's hard to find a quiet time to do videos, but I figured I'd try to get one in this morning. So thanks for checking this video out from Hidden Library Homeschool. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Bye.